Hey guys, and welcome to my series. A series where I try to tell Skyrim as the way you'd read it in a storybook, or a novel, or watching a TV series. The sort of thing that I would love to see in the next Elder Scrolls game where I find the book The Last Dragonborn, and I read it, but it's not just the events of the Dragonborn, what they did, it's the events of those that helped them get there. It's the life of Skyrim, and many different mediums of all different kinds of entertainment. There's been many different shows based on a single sole hero, one that was destined to save the world. And every one of those shows has a small guy, many different small guys, helping that one character to save the world. And, well, I really hope the next Elder Scrolls game has a decent book that doesn't just reference the Dragonborn as a non-sex, non-race character like the rest of them do. But with this story, I'm going to try and tell you my story on Skyrim's events, from all different walks of life, from different characters, from good, bad, and the in-between. All those that will help the Dragonborn's journey in saving the world. Hopefully you enjoy, and hopefully I do a good enough job showing you. If you do, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want. I'm going to let you guys get to the 2 chapters that I'm doing all at once, so hopefully you'll enjoy either one of them, if one is boring. Enjoy.
Chapter 8, The Companions Part 1, The Welp. I was given my first job, to rescue a citizen of Whiterun, and a wealthy one by the name of Nazim. But on the way out I was called by a far, from a rather tall Nord woman. She said she was to come along and aid me. Didn't really need it, but you don't say no to a woman like that. Job was in Whiterun, so there was no real journey. People saw Falmer taking this Nazim into a cave. The children of Skyrim were told haunting stories of Falmer stealing children from their beds and eating them. Wouldn't have been more than, say, 5 of these Falmer. We killed them with ease. The town drunk could have handled this. We found Nazim. The entire way back he told us how important he was, that he was essential to the Jarl. Both me and this giant Nord couldn't wait to get rid of him. Luckily I was with the companions seeking honor. If I was on my own again, I probably would have killed him. We got the job done. The Nord woman asked if I was up for some mead. I'm not one to refuse mead or a woman's company. I learned that her name was Lyris. She told me she was raised in the Riften orphanage. She said she got her name from some ancient Nord hero that was tall like her. She was called names by the other children until she was too big for them to pick on. That the woman running the place read them all stories of ancient heroes and adventures throughout Skyrim and Tamriel, where she learned of an ancient hero called Lyris Titanborn. She even credits her look to this ancient Nord. When she was 15, this woman died, and the so-called caretaker, who was a horrible person, took over. She left and found work as a sellsword. Last year she told me she got into some trouble and beat a man near to death and ended up in some Nord mine prison. She was set free by some elven mage. Once she got out, she joined the Companions, just like me. I did more jobs for the Companions. I even took the others with me. Was better to have backup and others to see your deeds. Ended up finding more people stolen away by the Falmer. We also saved somebody else trapped for free. Life was feeling better. I was doing better jobs, getting paid more, and I had backup. I went from some hired thug to a merc with some honor. No longer was I doing dirty work. I was rescuing those taken from their homes, or hunting down dangerous criminals and putting them down, where I started seeing these female warriors that wore next to nothing. They were rather distracting, and to survive the cold with nothing on, that's some real grit.
It seems that predators have taken up residence and have been attacking farmers and travelers. Someone's got to head out there and take care of the beasts. Be cautious. Beasts are not nearly as predictable as men. Give the thing a quick death.
If there was work and a chance to prove myself, I took it. Even if it sent me into a nest of the crawlies. Nothing looked more disgusting than spiders. But someone had to exterminate them. I ended up finding a new blade. It was some enchanted blade. My old one was seeing its end anyway.
Not bad. Not bad. The intensity of the hunt is special, isn't it? Skior was looking for you earlier. He didn't say, but you'd better move fast. There's probably something...
Ended up making a name for myself there. It was my time for the proving, where they see if you're worthy and skilled enough to become a proper companion.
Your time, it seems, has come. Last week, a scholar came to us. He said he knew where we could find another fragment of Wuthrad. He seemed a fool to me, but if he's right, the honor of the Companions demand that we seek it out. This is a simple errand. The time is right for it to be your trial. Carry yourself with honor. You'll become a true companion. Aela will be your shield sibling on this venture, Welp. She'll answer any questions you have. Try not to disappoint, or to get her killed.
I hope you've readied yourself. So I'm told. Try and keep up. I would hope that's obvious. Do well here, and you'll be a full member of the Companions. Fail, and it won't matter anyway. It was the blade hefted by Ysgramor when he returned to drive the elves out of the old Skyrim. Without that axe, this whole land would be overrun still. Don't delay, Shield Brother.
My proving was finding some fragments of some ancient axe. The axe used by Ysgramor to clear Skyrim of the elves. The very same elves I had slaughtered saving those people.
Looks like someone's been...
From what I was told,
and
the axe was destroyed in the Second Era by some necromancer cult. Leave it to mages to destroy important artifacts. We faced down the ancient Nord dead. They called them Draugr. Only really found them guarding their tombs. Some say they wander Skyrim during the winter, killing any and all in their path. Redguards back in Hammerfell won't put down their undead. It's forbidden to harm the dead of Hammerfell, even if it's trying to end you. I ended up trapping myself. This is why you need backup in tombs. What I saw next was wild.
Now look what you've gotten yourself into. No worries, just sit tight. I'll find the release. What was that?
Some warriors came out of the shadows and surrounded Aela. My first thought was she had no chance against that many, and her being an archer. They were all so close.
Doesn't matter. She wears that armor, she dies.
Killing you will make for an excellent story.
None of you will be alive to tell it.
She turned into a werewolf and ripped them apart. Even outnumbered, they stood no chance.
I'm sorry you had to see that. Come on now, you're a sharp one. You must have heard of werewolves before. It's a blessing given to the most honored of the companions. No, only members of the Circle get this blessing. Right now, we're just seeing if you're worth keeping around. Now let's move. I think that was the last of the Silver Hand, but still plenty of Draugr for the both of us.
That might be a useful power to have. When things get desperate, you turn into that. Nothing could stop you. Turns out those soldiers were Silver Hand, a group dedicated to killing werewolves, and they knew about the Companions. We went further in, where the rest of these Silver Hand hunters were waiting. They were distracted with all the Draugr they had woken up.
should have come here.
You dare challenge a child of Malakath? Die, damn you! You can't.
Nothing stood in our way. It be hunters or the undead, or the eight-legged crawlies. They all met my blade. For a people that hate magic, their ancients sure used a lot of it. They would even speak, and some force would knock you around. We made it to the main hall. There was a stillness in the air. Something unsettling. Something waiting. Had this wall with strange markings on them. What was its purpose? Maybe one day I'll find out. We found the fragment of that ancient axe. As soon as I grabbed it, the entire place came alive. We were locked in, and trapped with the undead. This would be a mighty battle. An archer at my back and me tearing down any sack of bones coming my way. When we cleared out the undead, we went straight back to Jorvaskr to hand in the fragment. We were met by Vilkas, who wanted me to follow him.
Today we welcome a new soul to our mortal foe. This man has endured, has challenged, and has shown his valor. Who will speak for him?
I stand witness to the courage of the soul before us.
Would you raise your shield in his defense?
I would stand at his back that the world might never overtake us.
And would you raise your sword in his honor?
It stands ready to meet the blood of his foes.
And would you raise a mug in his name?
I would lead the song of triumph as our mead hall revel in his stories.
Then the judgment of this circle is complete. His heart beats with fury and courage that have united the companions since the days of the distant green summers. Let it beat with ours, that the mountains may echo and our enemies may tremble at the call.
It
It
shall
shall
be
be
so.
so. Well, boy, you're one of us now. I trust you won't disappoint.
I was now a proper member of the Companions, still at the bottom of the food chain, but only time could change that. I was curious about this power to shift into a wolf, and somewhat interested. The Harbinger told me that only members of the Circle could shift. Only the most honorable and skilled of the Companions were granted such power.
Well, I grow old. My mind turns towards the horizon, to Sovngarde. I worry that Shor won't call an animal to glory as he would a true Nord warrior. Living as beasts draws our souls closer to the day.
But he was worried that being a werewolf would stop him from joining the Nord dead in Sovngarde. Becoming a wolf takes you somewhere else when you die or something.
When you get to be my age, you'll come to miss the smell of
I had to talk to the old man and learn what being a companion was all about. It seems that everyone here was just some lone merc who found no purpose and honor in their lives and joined the Companions to fix that.
learning all I could of the sword and the axe. I was just a boy, but I had the fire of a man in my heart. Eventually, my body caught up to my spirit. My predecessor, Askar, found me in Hammerfell. I was serving as a bodyguard for some weak-necked lord out there. He brought me back here, and I realized that I was actually coming home. I worked to bring honor to this family, and to the family that I lost. For my mother, my father, and my grandfather. For all my shield siblings. Family and honor. That's what it means to be one of us, boy. It means living such that your shield siblings would proudly say they fought at your side. Glory in battle, honor in life. Deal with problems head on. Leave whispers and sneaking to the gutter rats who can't fight for themselves.
G'day! So I'm releasing two at once because I find the Mages one very boring, and I kind of really liked the Fighter Skill one because I'm a bit more of a warrior sort of player of Skyrim. I love throwing a sword and cutting people's heads off. Not too magically inclined, don't really like boom boom with magical spells or even mods. If anyone's got any good recommendations on mods that cores can be added to NPCs, I would love that because it would make NPC combat a lot more dangerous, and it would make, well, Skyrim, well, kind of a bit more magical rich, which, you know, its history is quite rich in magic, and so is the Elder Scrolls. It's like a 10% in Skyrim. Anyway, I hope you guys have come to enjoy. So there's actually two mods I've used for both these characters' quest lines in the Companions of the College of Winterhold. The first one is the College Expansion. I don't know if it's a proper name for it, made by Jay Sparrow. Very, very talented modder. Dude's releasing some absolute fucking wizard mods. Oh, it actually works. I stole that line from Star Wars, but it actually makes sense for Elder Scrolls. And another mod, I don't actually know the model's name, but it was like the Companions Questline expansion, because the Companions Questline is the most boringest, and that's coming from a warrior player, because in 3 missions you're the goddamn Harbinger. You do one miscellaneous quest, boom, you're on the Proving. You do another miscellaneous quest, boom, you're a goddamn werewolf. You do 2 more miscellaneous quests, and goddamn it, you're the goddamn Harbinger. It's so boring, so slack. So I've got a mod which increases my requirements to do the next quest. I think it's like 5 for each one. So I've got to go out and do 5 missions. Maybe it might increase more, which could be boring, and I enjoy it. It makes the companions a lot more fleshed out, because Skyrim has a very serious problem of dropping off into the deep end so quick. Same thing with the Mages Guild. With the college expansion, you're actually able to learn magic physically by talking to the professors. Some of the quests are pretty boring, but some of them are actually quite fun. Some of them are really fun. But again, it doesn't just drop you from the deep end like Bethesda games tend to do. You're able to warm up into it, and I really, really, really like that. So both these mods are for the College of Winterhold and the Companions Quest line to make them feel a lot more fleshed out, a lot more, well, I guess immersive, really. So yeah, my entire thing of this story is that I really want to tell a story which feels like a book you'd read, either in real life or maybe a book you read in the Elder Scrolls game. Because the problem with, well, you know, the previous books and other Elder Scrolls heroes is that they're so bland. They just tell you the events that happened, and that doesn't refer to because again, everyone can play a different race or a different class, or different sex, and it just doesn't refer to them who they were, which kind of sucks. And the same thing will happen with Elder Scrolls 6 unless they invent some new tech that recognise what you played as or give you choices, like Elder Scrolls, like Dragon Age Inquisition. It gave you a big opening dialogue on how you played the other games. That was cool. I really liked that. But this is the sort of thing I'd imagine reading a book as the next Elder Scrolls character. Not just reading a book on the Dragonborn, but reading the book on the Dragonborn's time. What made the Dragonborn's time special, and who made the Dragonborn special? Because when the Dragonborn starts off, they're just an insignificant human with no knowledge, no power against fighting dragons. And it's a bit unimmersive that this one person can just kill a dragon, and then all of a sudden they're the most powerful being in the world. So this story approach is having characters that will help them get there, or help the Dragonborn get there. The first thing to build them up, and that's what we're doing with these two. Kind of boring to me, I guess, but it's part of the story. I need to build it up to kind of show where they started and where they'll go. But yes, these are the two characters, and then I'm really excited to move on to the soldier, which will be the next chapter, the next character, or characters, should I say. So hopefully, what I'm trying to do with both these stories is when I start them up, you'll see the year and the kind of month. Now, because it gets a bit confusing, because I'm doing like warrior, mage, which can be a pain in the ass to kind of keep track of, but I don't want to keep doing the same character because that will get boring, and then move on to the next character. It'd get boring for me as a player because I like playing multiple different characters, and it'll get boring for the viewer because they're just, pretty much watching the mage's journey. I want them to watch both journeys, but both happen in two different times. The mage is before, and the warrior is after. I'm pretty sure Minerva will be the archmage by the time he joins the companions. And the way I'm setting it up for, if you don't want spoilers, you can just stop this video now. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you enjoyed. The way that I'm setting the companion up right here, the Harbinger character, is I'm setting him up that he'll become the Harbinger a week out before the shit hits the fan of the Civil War. So his entire story is when he finally becomes a Harbinger, he's gonna get stuck in sort of a gritty situation with the Skyrim Civil War going. By then, Minerva's been an archmage for at least a year. She's had a year to settle down and start doing a new life. The Harbinger, though, well, he's kind of, he's a week off from having, Whiterun lit on fire. So yeah, so as you see, the dates, the times, and I will reference the real month with the game month, and kind of, if you're inclined to find out what season switch. Now, I actually live in Australia, so all the seasons are reversed to me. That isn't the Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls sort of calendar follows, or seasons follow the Northern Hemisphere. The European American ones follows them. But no, your winter's my summer, so it's weird for me. But I'm hopefully at the first start of these chapters that you'll know the times. You'll know kind of when they start, which is what really helpful, I guess, because you might get lost. So yeah, check them out if you want. One's in like November and one's in, I don't remember the other one, but yeah, hopefully you'll keep track of that. I'll keep track of that so you realise where the times are. Because yes, they're both being uploaded at the same time, but they're in two different time zones, or two different times. Anyway, like I said, man, if you guys enjoyed this, if you find it fun, if you got any opinions, or even tell about your own stories. I love hearing about other people's stories of similar things they've done, what I've done, or their Dragonborns through their journey. That's always fun to read in the comments, if you guys ever do it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of your hair. If you're bald, shit luck. Enjoy yourselves, look after yourselves, and don't do anything I would do.
My fingers any worse. I'll scarcely be able to hold a weapon.
Well, it's a big weapon, so good luck. Catch you later, guys.